The United States government selling its gold to buy crypto and HODL for 20 years. XRP approaching 80 cents. Tether's got a big announcement along with Jerome Powell being stingy.
Due to the graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
And you heard me right, selling gold for crypto, HODL mode 20 years. What the hell is going on? Well, I'll tell you what's going on. Your comments come first, and the ladies come first. Simone, always hanging out with us on the live stream. So hello, Simone. How are you? Says, thanks so much for the news, Klaus. Great to hear Genzer might be on his way out. Genzer, guaranteeing you, is courting other job offers right now. You got to think, I know we don't like him, but his skill set is super freaking valuable. He'd have regulatory insight. He'd have connections. He'd have all sorts of information that people would want access to. Gensler's going to get the Benjamins. Mike Carr's thoughts is, I believe that most, if not all, the crypto that the government has is confiscated from hackers. Think of Silk Road, stuff like that. Think of seizures. Think of some of the fraudulent things. The United States, huge holdings in Bitcoin. Like 99% of the U.S. holdings is into BTC. Speaking of BTC, it's not as green as XRP at the moment, but Bitcoin's sitting at 87,749. Well, ETH is 3,102. ETH has pulled back a bit here. Have you been paying attention to that? Sol at 213, but BNB looking healthy. XRP, yes, very healthy. Now look what's right next to it. Cardano's ADA. I like saying ADA. Seriously, I really do. Look at that. Right now, 55.9 cents, while XRP 78.8. That is a big gap. That is this dude right here, all right? This dude right here is going 6-liter LS with a big turbo, like 80 millimeter on that action. And no bullshit like eBay China crap. No, I'm talking about like really good Garrett made stuff. Like really, like I'm just saying. All right. So anyways, that's that guy. This guy over here, he's showing up in like something small. He's got like an eco boost that like, yeah, maybe it's got like the boost cranked up and maybe it's got like an ECU and exhaust or something like that, but getting walked. All right, let's get into it. Stablecoin issuer Tether moves into tokenizing stocks and bonds. The platform Hadron by Tether launched Thursday. Hey, that's today. More breaking news that I bring to you every day, so hit the subscribe button. Will allow users to convert assets into products ranging from stablecoins that are pegged to fiat to digital tokens backed by commodities of other forms of collateral. Telling you, stablecoins, really big. By the way, stablecoin, new all-time high. This is freaking awesome. Now, let's see. Hadron, Tether, you want to read more about it? Because this is kind of cool. Take you about 5 minutes to read it. It's pretty neat. It's all linked in the description down below. Oh, Jerome. Look at that face. Come on, Jerome. Stingy? No, my God. Come on. Don't ruin Santa Claus's Christmas. Jerome Powell says the Fed doesn't need to be in a hurry to lowering rates. Basically, what Powell is trying to do right now is make sure that the markets just don't run away with itself in optimism and people get burned. Like where it gets so optimistic where things are so expensive where you're like, whoa, this is actually overpriced. And he's referring more to the stock market, all right? Because if the stock market runs away and its valuations that are way out of bounds, dude, people will get burnt if they FOMO into that, man. So Powell's like, hey, look. We don't have to lower rates. We're not under pressure. And honestly, here's the deal. Canada, our friends to the north. Hello, Canadian friends. A lot of Canadian mentions today in the videos. Favorite Canadian? Mike Myers. There you go. So I Married an Axe Murderer. Great movie. So when we're talking about Powell and our friends to the north, the Canadians, they've already just been dropping rates at drop a rate. I mean, like, they're way ahead of us. You're seeing European countries out there, European zones out there, just rate after rate after rate cut. We're, again, behind. So I get Powell's rhetoric, right? He's trying to calm the market, you know, and he's trying to make the market be like, look, it's not as juicy as you think. There's some problems, and there are. We've got some debt problems out there. We've got some housing problems. We still have inflation problems. Shit's still expensive. You know, whether we're green in crypto or not, shit out there is still expensive. Groceries, cars, houses, it is all expensive. You need to get shoes and clothes for your kids, like for school, now that the weather's changing, expensive. Yeah, it's across the board. So Powell, I get it. The reality is, dude's dropping rates, man. He's dropping it. I know CPI data came in a little hot, but that's the deal. Now, to get onto some crazy ass shit, like the holy shit. All right. I'm gonna bring this up, or we're gonna read it, and then we're gonna talk about it. Cause I'm gonna let you know if this is possible, if this is bullshit, or what's going on. Because when you hear this, you're gonna freak the F out. Senator Lumens proposes selling the Fed's gold to fund strategic BTC reserves from a Bloomberg report. According to the latest Bloomberg report, Republican Senator Cynthia Lumens of Wyoming has proposed to sell a part of the Federal Reserve's gold holdings to purchase 1 million BTC for the creation of a reserve. The senator, an ally of Trump, has a plan for filling up the president-elect proposed strategic Bitcoin stockpile without adding to government deficit. That's a big key thing here, because we know no one, in terms of being fiscally conservative, would want to add to debt. But are they going to want to like pull out of gold and go into crypto? The bill calls for the U.S. to acquire 1 million BTC, representing nearly 5% of the outstanding tokens. Cynthia Lumens estimates this would cost around $90 billion based on current prices, but the sum could rise if the market anticipates the government's involvement. And now think about what would happen if the U.S. government says, yeah, we're doing it, we're going ahead. Dude, people would be aping into that shit. Other countries would be aping into that. I talked earlier about college endowment funds. There are billions locked up in college endowment funds. And yeah, they're earning their 5-10%. But man, if they're sitting here going, well, wait a minute, the U.S. government's getting into BTC and they're getting into big DCC, like big time, 5%, that's a freaking lot, man. That's 1/20th of the supply. That's not even whale. You're freaking the whale on steroids that like, you're just like the size of freaking Florida. That's how big of a whale you are. Like, and you're swimming in the ocean. You're a big fucking whale. So it's like the ocean would be a real small fish tank. That'd be nuts. This is what she said. We already have the financial assets in the form of gold certificates to convert to Bitcoin, Lumens said in an interview with Bloomberg. So the effect on the U.S. balance sheet is pretty neutral. Now, what would happen to gold? Obviously, gold would go down because then people would be like, well, wait a minute. The U.S. isn't really getting into this. They're getting into BTC. So you would start seeing a little bit of a power play with gold. Now, here's the thing. This is a very radical idea, okay? In terms of votes, right? You need to pass all this stuff through the House, the Senate, and then El Presidente signs it, okay? The thing is, you know how what's her name? Elizabeth Warren is like way on this side over here, you know? And she's like really anti-crypto, and you got Maxine Waters, and she's way over here, and Brad the Shermanator way over here, like all these anti-crypto people. Lumens is like the same thing, but like on the opposite side. So like with Lumens, it's like she's like a real think of her like Sailor. That's the best way to put it. She's government Sailor. There you go. You want to know what the best way you explain this lady? She's government Sailor. She's nuts AF about BTC. She's down with it. So you're going to have some people within the Republican Party that are like, yo, we really aren't into that. That's a little too much risk for us. We're looking at this also. Remember, we're big pro-bank people. There's a lot of that on the Republican side as well. So you're sitting here going, that might be a hard one to pass through. Speaking of 79-cent XRP. But I want to know, what do you think? If the U.S. announces this, let it run. I mean, just let this thing run. There's nothing Jerome Powell could say that could mess it up. And you're going to see crypto just really revolutionizing finance as like in a big financial shift. Now, XRP price, look at this. Juicy as all could be. Let's zoom into the candlesticks here, because the volume itself has been nice. $7.5 billion. Don't you like saying that? Don't you like hearing that out loud? Let's go to those 15 minutes. Look at this. And that's right. Alerts were setting off on my phone. And look what happened. Look what happened right here. That's right. Hit right at 80 cents exactly on this high candlestick. 80 cents exactly on that mark. We found support right away just north of 76.80. Now we're sitting out there hanging at 78.87, fighting right around that 79. The move is still going on. But again, the move is strong. The move is on high volume. The move is coming in delayed compared to the rest of the market. Look at it. BTC down 2%. ETH down 2%. Do you see many others that are deep in the green right now? I mean, look, XRP, 16% in the last 24 hours. Caspa, 14%. That's very respectable. PayPay, 20%. We know why. Listing action. But the rest of the market is nowhere near that. And the other players that are in the green, they're not as deep in the green as XRP is. So I'm going to be paying attention to this move. If something breaks and we start pushing through 80, we might have to do like a stream or another video later, because that would be amazing to see. Because when we zoom out, okay, and we got to go to the bigger candlesticks on this one, because when we zoom out, we're talking test in time of Torah's 2023 decision. And you saw how that worked. Now that was look at that insane candlestick right there. That's does this seem more manageable, right? Does that seem more feasible, that rise there versus this is one massive one? So let's see what happens with the volume. Let's see what happens with the price. Let's see if we can retest Torah's high. We did get to 80 cents here. We have been pushed down right at that 79-cent mark, but hey, it is still early and there is still plenty of money flowing in the crypto market, and seems like there's going to be even more money flowing. Sorry, Jerome. You ain't pissing on our Cheerios today. All right, so the likelihood of the U.S. government ditching gold to buy BTC it's small. Remember, Lumens is from Wyoming, and Wyoming as a state is super pro-BTC, pro-BTC miners. So obviously it would benefit them as a state. So she kind of got her state in first before we go to the federal level. So that's why you always got to check like the sources of this stuff, right? The people speaking, what's their motive, okay? So she's got an obvious motive. But I'll be honest with you, there's quite a few Republicans out there that are like, this is a bit too radical for us. Let's save money somewhere else and see if we can take savings from somewhere else and roll it into BTC rather than selling gold. You would get them on board with that. So the full selling gold into BTC, I think that's going to be a very hard radical idea to get through. You know no Democrat is going to vote for that. And you know you would lose some of the votes from the Republicans that are going to be like, oh, this is a bit too much for us. So that right there would stall that in the Senate. But we're talking about it. It's proposed. Trump wants a strategic BTC reserve. It's just a matter of finding the funding. And maybe that's where Elon comes in and his friend Vivek. They both come in and they're all about government efficiency. Well, what's government efficiency about? Saving money, eliminating steps. So if Elon and our friends can start finding some money, well, then you don't have to sell gold, and you could easily sell that to the Republicans. And you'd get them all in on that action. And with the Republican-controlled House, Senate, and presidency, that would go through 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that easy. So Lumens might be reaching a bit, but the mere idea that we're talking about it just shows you how different shit is. We brought up Lumens before in the past on this channel regarding a BTC strategic reserve, and we were all like, yo, homegirl is nuts AF, and then all of a sudden things just lined up for her. And that's the story with the crypto market right now. I'm looking at XRP back up over 79 cents. I mean, this is very, very healthy. Cardano's 88, 24 cent now difference between the two. And remember, it was 88 up about 5-6 cents a while back, not too long ago. So XRP price looking healthy. The volume is looking healthy as well. The candlesticks, whether you're looking at the 15-minute, the 1 hour, the 1 day, it's looking really, really good. And I think we're just getting started with this. Now, XRP to $1 might be tough. And you're like, well, Klaus, why might it be tough? Well, because obviously I think we know what the real big puller of this whole thing has been. It's been BTC. And BTC would have to kind of keep the money thing going. And we got to sit here and wonder, can BTC hold that 100,000? Now, I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying if there's a hurdle of all hurdles in the world to get over where we got to worry about a big correction in the market, it would be what if BTC touches that 100,000, can't hold it, and people are like, yo, this is the top, we got to get out, and then you see the waterfall. So just be careful, you know. Trust me, I love the action that we're in right now. I'm super excited, but we've seen this before in crypto, but I don't know, everyone. This one just feels a little bit different. So let me know how you feel in the comments down below. Choo-choo what, everyone? Biz nachos.